Ladies and gentlemen, well, you want to do this, Kelley? Why don't you do the intro?
Yeah. We have our 2022 Midseason NFL Awards show starting with the NFL MVP. There's the music slowly rising.
Oh, it has a tone to it.
Yes. Yeah.
I did not expect that intro. Oh, it's crescendoing.
Yeah, it's crescendoing, yes. Took us way too long to find awards music.
Man. We ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Oh, okay.
All right, for your MVP award, mid-season, Gill Alexander with Jalen Hurts. Myself with Josh Allen. Gill, explain yourself.
So let me ask you a question. We probably should have asked this question. Probably should have had this conversation before we did our mid-year award show, which is, who am I likely to bet on to win it by the end of the season? Or who is the actual winner if the awards were handed out now?
Who's the winner if the award was handed out now?
Then it's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Hurts has done nothing wrong. He has been pristine as the quarterback of the only undefeated team in the National Football League, the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts is your current MVP. I know he's not the short shot, and he's not the guy I would necessarily bet on because I don't think they're going to be undefeated. But right now, he's the MVP.
I went back and forth on this between Hurts and Josh Allen, and I'm going to give it to Josh Allen, especially since there's maybe a chance that he has an injury and it maybe takes him out of this award chase for the entire season. But I just think the statistical advantage from a passing standpoint does separate him to 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year for Josh Allen. And look, this is a guy that I think of when I think of guys in the NBA. It's who do I want to go to war with? Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? He's the best player in the league. He could win MVP every single year. I don't really think there's much of an argument otherwise. What that guy does every time is incredible. Josh Allen, I think, is the singular most valuable player in the NFL from an offensive standpoint. What that guy can do with his legs and arm is incredible. First half of the year, what he did with Buffalo, I'm giving him the MVP.
Okay. All right.
All right, on to the next one. It is Offensive Player of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year, which is essentially who they don't give the MVP to. Mm-hmm. Usually a non-quarterback these days. We both went Tyreek Hill.
Yes. As
it should be.
I agree. I believe Jalen Hurts is the short shot in most markets for this. But, man, Gil, I think this was a great exercise doing this last night, putting together your midseason awards. Because I don't know how often you actually just go look at player stats. It's not something I'm checking in on every week, right?
Yeah, not super often.
But, let's just look at receiving stats for the year. Tyreek Hill, 1,104 yards on 76 catches. Next on the list is Justin Jefferson at 867 yards. This guy has had an unbelievable season. I think you could see with what he's done, changing the shape of the Miami Dolphins offense. It's him.
Those 1,104 receiving yards are the most receiving yards through 9 games in the Super Bowl era.
There you go. Hey, Jalen Hurts is the short shot I know over at DraftKings right now to win this. These is what we talked about last week. Some of these awards I wouldn't even bet on. I wouldn't bet on this one right now because of that. Because what exactly is the award? I look at it, I wish they would just give it to a non-quarterback. Since the MVP is basically a quarterback.
Yep. Say what it is already.
Exactly. All right, next up. Defensive Player of the Year.
You should totally do the voiceovers of the Oscars. Coming up next.
I can't whisper well, though, I'm much better with my Flex Seal one. Flex Seal!
Jennifer Lawrence. Micah Parsons is my Defensive Player of the Year. Now, admittedly, part of this is going to be colored by the fact that I have him at plus 650 from before the season to be Defensive Player of the Year. There has been nothing in his game that would dissuade me from that. He's the guy.
I did the little cop-out here. Sorry, I did the I'm going to hand it to 2 guys because nobody's talking about what Matthew Judon's doing. How many times have you heard him brought up at all this year? And all he's doing, yes, he had 3 sacks this past Sunday. But his total right now is 11.5 sacks for that team through 9 games. He is on an incredible pace right now, and if this keeps increasing a little bit, he might be sniffing at the single-season sack record. So, I don't know how he's not in this conversation, and at 12-1 over at DraftKings right now, it might end up being a small bet for me on Defensive Player of the Year on Matthew Judon. I think you can't take anything away. Having said all that, though, you can't take anything away from what Micah Parsons has done this year. He's an incredible player to watch. playing the multiple different positions and obviously focusing more on the pass rush this year. He's had a great season. If he wins the award, I'm not going to have any problem with it. But through the first half of the season, I'm going to give it to both those guys.
He's everywhere. Micah Parsons is everywhere. Has there ever been a player like that where you're like, I cannot believe that on this one play he's here, he happens to be around the ball, and this other play, it's just amazing with him.
I mean, not really. And especially at that position, right? I think that the one I think about more are some of the safeties we've seen, Paul Amalu, Sean Taylor, you know what I mean, that would maybe play more up at the line of scrimmage and come at you.
You know, we don't say enough. We don't go back and think about decisions. Micah Parsons, the pandemic year, just being like, yeah, I'm not playing football. Worked out nicely. Let's go to what's next?
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Just have you do voiceovers for everything. Kenneth Walker. Oh, you have Kenneth Walker the third as well.
We did. We both went with Seattle here.
Good on you, Pete Carroll, for just saying, I'm doing a running game and I'm going to draft this guy. We snickered. We laughed when they drafted him as high as they did. But Kenneth Walker is the guy with a little nod to Dameon Pierce. But Kenneth Walker's the short shot. He ought to be right now.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce still leads him overall in rushing yards, but you got to remember he's been a part of that Houston offense longer than Walker has with Seattle. Man, both these guys. This is another one, Gill. If you want to give it to Dameon Pierce, I'm fine with that. A running back who's getting that many carries and averaging, he's ripping off 4.6 yards a carry. On a bad team, right? To be a running back on a bad football team is impressive, but still, it's Kenneth Walker with everything Seattle's doing.
We got to speed it up, voiceover guy.
Okay, next up, defensive Rookie of the Year.
I went Sauce Gardner. And listen, Did he interfere with Gabe Davis on that last play?
Yeah.
It seems like he's getting veteran respect from officials.
Yeah.
Like he can kind of do whatever he wants, and they're like, yeah, good play, Sauce. But he's made an impact for a 6-2 Jets team, so I want Ahmad Gardner.
Yeah, he's a short shot. Absolutely could go there. Tariq Woolen, I'm going with sticking with the Seahawks theme.
Good for you.
4 picks for him this year. I think if he stays up there in the interception race, he could win this award.
You know what I've so far about this? Nothing's really that surprising.
Yeah, nothing too much.
Yeah.
All right, Comeback Player of the Year.
All right, the most nebulous, the most vague of all awards. What does it mean? What are you coming back from? And somehow the both of us have decided that coming back from generally sucking throughout the rest of your career or the previous parts of your career is the way to go. Gino is the Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, Gino's the Comeback Player of the Year. Look, even if you don't understand the award, you got to still look at how this has gone in years past, and guys like this can win the award even if he's not coming back from an injury. All right, next up, Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. I like how you emphasize that last word. Listen, you already know I have a bet on Pete Carroll at 10-1. I didn't get him at the best number, even though I advocated it here. But I finally made the bet. I got him at 10-1 to win the Coach of the Year. But if you're asking me who's the Coach of the Year right now, they're undefeated. Yeah. So you have to give it to Nick Sirianni. And by the way, if they're undefeated at the end of the season, he'll be the winner too. Nick Sirianni, Eagles, period.
I think good for you. I think I was expecting you to go Pete Carroll here.
No.
But you're right. Pete Carroll was a good bet a week or two ago. It's probably still a good bet.
Yeah.
But Nick Sirianni is the Coach of the Year through the first half of the year. With what he's done with this offense, this group of players, undefeated, it's not even a question.
And that's why I also say Jalen Hurts is the MVP for the same reason. If you don't lose and you're basically pristine in your play, how can you not be? What have you done wrong? That's your midseason awards. Do we have a close for you for the voiceover guy for that?
Thank you for attending this year's midseason award show.
Kelley, Bydlon, everybody.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.